everyone receives is a reflection of us. I've been learning and watching a lot of series lately about spirituality and the like, and in a previous one I talked about farming in my audio, and I brought to my attention that in the world that we are creating, the 5D and upward reality of just bliss, not all positive every single day, no, more that equal balance, that loving nature of connectedness. And I wrote this down the other day, and it leads in from things that I believe that there are different factions of this new world, let's call it. And there'll need to be farmers. There'll need to be mathematicians and scientists and mystics and healers. There needs to be these people. It's not we do everything and we sit in this consciousness. We tap into it. We connect. But we still live in this world. We just make it what we need it to be. We enjoy the moment, which is what we should be doing. You can go into light, but then what? You're an etheric body? What do you do then? So I believe we have these different areas. And I think it's where we're drawn to. It's not just that, it's the arts as well. I think we're given the opportunity to either learn all of them and then go to an area that we associate best to. There's situations like this in TV series where you're put into different factions. And there's another one in Harry Potter, Vikings, all of this stuff where they're teaching in schools things about herbs and growing, things about the sciences. You see it in today, there's so many different teachings, but they guide you to a direction that is to their script. But it needs to be made clear that sometimes when we know what we want to do, we need to focus inwardly on that. That is our life path in this world. And we adopt certain strategies and things from others. But when we harness ourselves to the connectedness or the connectedness of the community and the spiritual nature of people and what they're capable of, that's powerful. That's creating more love, that unconditional love, and just joy between everyone. You see, even the mathematicians can create all the sorts of things with the sciences and the mystics for symbolism and getting to the things that might actually improve the world. And something came to my attention. I was watching things about codex and codices and information on Leonardo da Vinci, and that how the codes within all of the paintings that they find match the Pyramid of Giza. And it always came to mind for me, what do you then do with all this info? As a mathematician, you're looking for solutions in things that you're doing. So you'll always find them, or any correlation, because if you look long enough, I'm sure you'll find a direct relation. Now, when it comes to these sort of things, it is eerily uncanny that they match. But then ask yourself, what's the purpose? What's the drive? What's the end goal? When you have this information, what do you do with it? it's all well and good for them to just say, well, this is what it represents, but then what does that represent? And what do we do with it? How do we use it? How is it important to spiritual growth? And I think on two different levels here, because this is where our current world probably went in terms of mathematics, and the solutions like this and symbolism can lead to weaponry. If you have power and knowledge and you turn it into that situation, that's what they've done. But it's also not armory. It's also that they've taken these sacred symbols and used them in a mistrusting way. And it's led to corruption and manipulation of the current societies. As with everything, it can be used as a negative or as a positive. So I find it really fascinating how sometimes our drive to want to find an answer will never end. If you keep wanting to find the answer, that is the search for God. It's a search for meaning. I think that'll never end because you keep asking the questions why, and you will not live in the moment. That never-ending thirst for meaning to existence is not what's supposed to be there, in my opinion. We are supposed to enjoy the process of living the excitement, and understand that we are all connected to the source, to God. How we get there, that's what's unique to us. And we mustn't lose that, because if we remind ourselves that we are all God having a unique experience, then why do you need to be all of them in your life right now? There are people there that are having that moment. So support them on their journey. If we taught these things in schools about the different sciences and the farming groups, the thing that actually matter, that keep us happy, the environment and sacred and spiritual knowledge, both in mathematics and science and physics and all sorts, it's all there. The world would be a different place. So sometimes I always wonder with people's thirst and drive to find answers or meaning in a painting or a mathematical solution or a sight that we see. To me, that's the same as going to a rock concert and filming it on your phone and watching it, not enjoying the concert. It could be any concert, really. We mustn't forget the journey and the experience through it. How we get there is not always how it is supposed to go in our own expectations of reality, but it is nonetheless the road that we need to take. So with that, peace and love, take care.